The South African Medical Association is threatening legal action over the placement of almost 5,000 junior doctors. SAMA wants to force government to finalize the placements of the doctors for internship and community services by no later than the 16th of December. For more on this, we're joined by Dr. Mvuyisi Mzukwa, SAMA's Vice Chairperson. Thank you very much, sir, for your time this afternoon. So what seems to be the issue? This is not the first time that this is happening.
Good afternoon, Dudu, and to your viewers. Thanks for having me in your program. The problem that we're facing is a government that has become clumsy in terms of attending to junior doctors' issues. We would expect that by now they are, it's a well-oiled machine, to run. I mean, it's not the first time that we are placing doctors. We find ourselves in the same situation year on year. So we don't understand what is happening with the department. But also, when we had a meeting, we were given stories that the treasury doesn't have money. But that is not our problem, if I may put it so, because we know that the same government is sending doctors outside, for training. Why would you send those doctors outside of the country to train if you are going to come back and confuse them by not placing them for internship and community service?
So you say the government is clumsy in attending junior doctor issues, and according to World Bank data, South Africa has a dire shortage of medical professionals. I mean, what options do these students then have? Will some of them be forced to leave the country?
Well, so far I think what is happening is that there is a confusion. Because for you to be declared qualified in this country, you must have done your internship, you must also do your community service. Then you get a certificate where you are referred to as an independent practitioner by HPCSA. But that's not where we are now. What we see is that from undergrad, you need to come, to a step where you finish off your training in terms of doing your internship and community service. So this is part of the training. It's not like it's a nice thing to do. It's part of their training. And if they cannot get that part, they cannot be allowed anywhere to practice, because South Africa has got its own laws.
We do understand that, some of these students are quite frustrated. You've put in place a deadline of the 16th of December, which is fast approaching. That is tomorrow, literally. So what happens if you do not get a response?
Well, as you know, Dudu, SAMA has got a fully fledged legal department. We are now working on the approach. We've already given instructions to our lawyers to work on this matter, and we've given the department until tomorrow to sort out this thing. We've heard rumors that there are interns who have already placed, but our worry is that even if you've got interns who are placed already, they might not get their salaries at the end of the day, because placement is not the issue is funding. So we do want to know if those interns that are placed have got funding as well. So we would use our legal arm to approach the courts of law so that we get a declaratory order on these matters.
I remember a doctor relaying a story that during their training, South Africa's training in terms of becoming a doctor is one of the most rigorous in the world. So we were very well equipped to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic when it reached our shores eventually, because of the kind of training that our doctors have received. So when you talk about people not getting paid, essentially, what does this mean? Are these students now left in limbo?
Well, if you look at this, it's really a psychological tsunami, because if you look at it, these students, some of them are coming from poor backgrounds, and if you're not giving them a chance to advance their careers, I mean, you're leaving not only them, but also their families in limbo. You are driving these students to depression. The government must not act surprised if there's anything, psychological complications that come out of this, because they've been, manufactured it. So this is very important that government does not take it lightly. We know that in this country, we've got lots of unemployment of youth. Now, you've got a government that has an opportunity to, provide employment for the youth in terms of internship and community service. But now, they don't do that. They just ignore them and frustrate them and drive them to depression.
Members of the health sector are receiving their booster shots. Will your members be receiving booster shots? Have you experienced any issues?
Well, we've been encouraging our members to go get a booster shot. I myself has taken a booster shot. I think what we have noted so far was low uptake of the booster shot. We're not sure what could be the issue. Maybe, because some of our colleagues had expectations that government would give them an option, to use other vaccines out there. But we're still encouraging our members to go out there and get a jab, a booster jab.
Dr. Mvuyisi Mzukwa of the South African Medical Association. He's the Vice Chairperson there. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.